Want to speed up your CI/CD pipeline and save cost? In this video, I will show you how to set up a self-hosted Azure DevOps agent step by step. Let's get started. Hey, welcome to my channel. In this video, we're going to learn how to set up an Azure DevOps agent. It's going to be a step-by-step beginner-friendly guide. So let's get started. We are going to start by creating an Azure VM. Then in the step number 2, we're going to configure a hosted agent. And to finish, we're going to run a basic pipeline, which will make use of our configured self-hosted agent on our Azure VM. So let's come to our Azure portal. So locate virtual machine or use the search bar and write VM. Select virtual machine. Then once you're in deep space, create a virtual machine. So here we're going to configure our VM. So we have our subscription setup. We need to create a resource group. We are going to name it agent -r G4 resource group. Then our instance detail, we want to name our virtual machine Linux agent. For the region, select the region that is closest to you or the region where you are currently located. In our demo, we're going to use North Europe. For the availability zone, we are going to use Azure selected zone. We want Azure to select it and not. For the image, we are going to go with Ubuntu 24.04. The architecture is correct. The size is going to be one vCPU and 1 gig memory. It's a free service. We don't want to spend. Authentication tab, let's go with SSH public key. Our username, we leave it as is, and we want to generate a new key because we don't have any one at the moment. Use the RSA, key pair name is correct, and we want to leave the inbound port 22 open. Then click next. Here we're going to select our disk. The disk size is going to be 30 gigs, that's fine. And for the disk type, we want to go with a basic one, standard HDD. Like I say, we want to save some money and not spend for this demo. And we are going to leave the key management platform. Click next. In the networking tab, we don't have any virtual network, so we are going to leave Azure create the current configuration with our subnet and network security group. We're going to leave basic public inbound port is going to be SSH22 open. And then for the load balancing configuration, we don't have any and don't wish to have, so you can leave it for none. Next, and on the tag, we want to give it a name, and we are going to name it Linux agent. That should be good. Click review plus create and wait for the validation to pass. The validation passed, and now you can click create. Everything looks right, so you can create it. And now you are prompted to download. You need to download your private key and create a resource because we are going to use this private key to access our Azure VM. So we can return to the deployment, which is in progress. So we have our resources created, and we can now click go to resource. All right. So here we are on our Linux agent VM that is created, and we have all the configuration that we specify while creating it. We have our availability zone that was selected by Azure. We have our public IP address, which we are going to need to access our VM via SSH. So now let's go to our terminal. So here we are in the download folder because we downloaded the SSH key, remember? So we need to first change the permission and give it a chmod 400 to our Linux agent.pm, and then use the SSH command -i Linux agent key.pem, and then your user, so the Azure user at the public IP that you copied to the clipboard. So yes, now we are in our Azure VM. So now what we need to do is to set up our agent configuration. So for that, we need to go to our Azure DevOps portal if you have one. So it should be like that. And once you are there, go to organization settings, and from the organization settings, scroll down to agent pool. Click it, and now we have a default agent pool, but we want to add our own agent pool. Then click self hosted because we're gonna host it ourselves, and give it a name Linux in our case. You can give it whatever name you do like, it doesn't matter, and give it description, which is optional, but let's say for Linux only build. And pipeline permission, we want to leave auto provision, okay, and click create. Okay, so now we have our Linux pool agent that is created. We want to click it, go to the agent tab, then click either new agent here or there, it doesn't matter. And then once you're here, select Linux because we have a Linux VM run. So copy the URL to the clipboard from your download agent, and then go back to Azure VM terminal, and from here we want to first download, so use wget and then paste the URL, and this should download the agent tar.gz file. Now you want to make the directory, okay, make it directly and then go to that directory. So make the my agent and then cd into my agent. So now we are within that pwd, confirm it. We can now enter our agent configuration. So let's copy tar zxvf download, and then the tar name. Okay, we don't have a download folder, so we don't need that. We are going to just remove it and then go one directory up, so ... and then you can just click, you can just press enter. Now it's going to enter all the file and folder that is contained within this directory. Essentially for the configuration, so we have, for example, the run.sh, we have the config.sh, which we are going to use, and then we have amp.sh. And yes, now let's configure the agent. So for that, we're going to use the .config.sh within our repository. Run it in your terminal, and then we're going to fill all the prompt. So first here, you can just click enter, accept the Team Explore Everywhere license agreement now, press enter for N, okay. Connect here Azure DevOps portal URL. In my case, my organization is called Everbright Hub. In yours, it's probably gonna call something else. Just let's copy the URL to the command prompt, yes, and then press enter, and enter the authentication tab. Okay, so here we are going to use a personal access token. So let's go back to our Azure DevOps board and click the user setting, and then go to personal access token. So here you want to create a new token. If you have one, it's probably going to be a bit populated, but I have no at the moment, so let's call it Linux agent. Our organization expiration we can change, but we won't change anything. For the scope, let's use full access just for this demo, but in production environment it's better to have a custom defined access. And then don't forget to copy your access token somewhere just to save it, because you want people to retrieve it. Let's go back to the terminal and then paste it and then press enter, and now it is connecting to our server. So enter an agent pool. So our agent pool, if you remember from the beginning, we called it Linux. You probably gave it a different name, then use the name that you have used. Ours was called Linux, so we are going to write Linux and then press enter. And then the agent, so it says press enter for the Linux agent. Linux agent is indeed how we've named it. So we can just press enter, and now it is successfully added and tested. step. We are not going to change anything, so we are going to echo hello world, and then we are also going to echo add other tasks to build, test, deploy your project. You can commit it directly to the branch or to the main branch or to a separate branch, but let's just go straight to the main branch and let it run. So once it starts running, you can click the job. Okay, so the pipeline needs permission to access the resource before this one can. Okay, so we can permit it. So we grant the permission to our pipeline to use our agent. So now the job is pending, and we should have our pipeline initializing and starting the job, and the remaining step if you okay. So we are initializing, so checking out our test repository, and then running the one line script and then multi-line script, and we can see that agent has indeed used the Linux agent. So the job has started and finishing the job now, and it should be successfully run. So this is for the demo. As described, is going to be just a basic one, but in the next video we are going to use something much more advanced, so stay tuned for that. So what have we achieved in this video? The goal was to create an Azure virtual machine, then configure the self-hosted agent, and run the basic pipeline using the agent that we hosted on our Azure VM. So I hope you like it. So don't forget to like, subscribe for more Azure tutorials. We have new video every week on Hands-on Lab. Thank you for watching.